Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us again for this design conversation. So tonight we have a very interesting film person with us, Kern Wei over here from all the way from KL.
Hi.
Yep.
Hi,
So I
guys.
think I will pass the time to Kern Wei to introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, guys. My name is Kern Wei. I'm a filmmaker for short documentaries and also commercials. And thank you, Kern Wei and Equator College for inviting me for this session. So today, I guess everyone is here, so I'll be here to share a bit of my experience from doing filmmaking from the start and then until right now. And also, if we have a little bit of extra time, I also share part of my a recent collaboration with Time magazine. What's the idea behind it and what went down. So without further ado, I think I will start with showing you a bit of what are the works that I've done in recent years with this video. So take a look.
As time went by, Earth blossomed into a beautiful, natural vastness of green.
Это воздух, которым мы дышим. Земля, которую мы ощущаем.
I've done many things, but nothing comes close to this.
What is it?
I don't think you have to decide on something where people are against you. I'm a believer that when you start something, you don't want to just stop halfway through or give yourself excuses. I hate excuses.
Escapism, and having an experience that for a minute takes them away from worries
Dari sini, macam-macam warna saya nampak. Kamu nampak juga kah?
The same is true for our spirit.
It's on the sale, yeah? What? The PM tak pernah tu. Grand Coupe.
One love, and I breathe.
What I love about it is that consumers are encouraged to recycle the capsules and they're given a second life. We need to remember to repeatedly reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Okay, guys, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Good evening, everyone. How are you guys doing? Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so so these are the stuff that me and the team have been working on for the past few years lah. And we love doing like a lot of travel stuff, and then like art performance art stuff, and also commercial stuff lah. That's why you can see there are sometimes Hari Raya videos inside it lah. And we try to keep things very fun. Okay, so I will continue. Okay, so today's topic would be about how copying got me here. I'll tell you a bit about my definition of copying lah. All right, there is definitely different meanings, but basically the four things I'll be covering, not in very systematic order, but it will be in essence how I got started in photography, videography, and then ultimately film. How copying got me here, my recent collaboration work, and also what the title of today's webinar is, like humanity and celebration. It's more of a feeling, it's more of a motto, and it's more of a way I think I usually look at it when I create films or even life in general lah. All right, so I guess I'll start with to show you guys roughly how my work looks like. Sometimes if you see at the top left corner, this is me and the crew. Sometimes we are hanging at the back of a pickup truck filming cars, racing. Then sometimes you are in a nice studio with good environment, good air conditioning. Sometimes there's no air conditioning. It's very hot, stuffy. The condition, it's not the best, but we still do our job. And then sometimes we are traveling, with people shooting documentaries and stuff. And sometimes you're also very lucky to be able to meet or work together with like very, very talented individuals. I guess you guys know who this lady is. So I'm Jen. Yeah. And then maybe some of you guys who watched Digital Ref, I think maybe 5-10 years ago. If you guys have watched Digital Ref before, maybe you can comment there. Say, hi, I've watched Digital Ref before. Yeah, these two guys are this is Kai and Lok lah. These guys I've been watching their content when I ever started photography and ultimately video lah. And this is Kenji and also his assistant Wilson. We're having a lunch break here. Okay, so sometimes to a lot of people who don't know, filming, all these things seems like very glamour, right? No, actually, in every beautiful thing, there's always like the truth lah. I won't say ugly side, but the truth of things lah, right? Sometimes when you are, rushing for a very short deadline, you'll be asking, why did I even choose to do this line of work or this project? Or you'll be like, your eyes are really dying already. You keep on complaining, and then but you still have to do the work. Well, ultimately, it comes down to how much you love your line of work. For me, I still, no matter how much of these setbacks or difficulties or obstacles that goes through when you're making a film, it always gives you at the end of the day, it always gives you a very large sense of satisfaction when the film is out, and then you're able to push out a message, maybe change people's minds or perception to the better, and also ultimately see the response from people lah. So these are and always breaking through in life in general. So that's what I really enjoy. That's why I'm still doing film right now. Okay. So also one more thing I like about my line of work is because it is sometimes a very nice opportunity. And sometimes you get to go to places that normal people would never think of or hardly would ever go lah. For me, I love trains. I got a lot of trains back there and cars and airplanes in general. So there was one job that I was asked to go to a back then train depot in KL to film something. It was like the best day of my life, man. So this is part of why I like my line of work lah. Okay, so I guess let's start with the first part of the webinar, which is how I got started with all this. So me, like everyone here, I guess, we went through high school. Back then, the main differences were my hair was a lot thicker and then my skin was a lot darker because we played a lot of basketball back then. But if you notice, I'm holding a camera. So back then, I was lucky because my sister, she bought her first DSLR, and then I was like, I was a bit late to the game, but I looked at the picture she took, and it's very nice lah. So I took the camera and then started playing with it lah. And also because it can produce nicer selfies lah. Back then we don't have like nowadays the iPhone cameras are not so good back then. So DSLR selfies were the way to go. But actually how I really started was doing content for my back then school clubs lah. I used to join like a Chinese society club, so they have like events going on very often, and we'll do like promo videos like that. So I took my dad's presentation camera here. It's not even HD. It's just I think 480p or 560p. It's very low resolution, but it is a camera. So I took that and then film whatever I can. Now we come to the part where I previously mentioned I love copying. Copying as in I like to copy styles lah. Back then, for me, it's the fastest way to learn fast. So back then in 2009 and 2011, the hottest things were Wonder Girls. K-pop was catching up back then. You got Toy Story 3. And then you got, I think this is Apple of My Eye, the Taiwan movie. Honestly, I haven't watched it, but I know the scenes and how it looks like. So everyone could relate that back in school. So when we wanted to create a content for our school people to relate and attract to, we create our own discount version, all right? So we have, back then, we used a very low quality camera to shoot these kind of things, and then it was just for laughs lah. And then a very interesting thing happened was between 2009 2011, DSLRs become very popular. And so we had the opportunity to, right out of the bat, get very cinematic images lah. So for me, back then it was a huge deal, but nowadays it's something normal. You get to see everyone doing that. But that's how we started lah, and we had a lot of fun, most importantly. And movie posters and K-pop was a big thing, so we did our own version lah. This was like for our graduation photos. We did our last graduation photo, whatever we have, and these are like my brothers lah. Okay. And then we came to college time. So for me, college time was where I started to think a bit seriously about life. It's like, okay, I had to think about what course should I go in. So I have a nice stable job back then. So I always dreamt of me having an iMac. I want to own an iMac, an old one, a new one, also never mind. An iMac must have that logo there one. Right next to a big window, bright window, I can see in this picture. And I want to be a graphic designer because back then I love doing like typography, layout, those kind of things. So I always imagine myself wearing those golden spectacles right here with this white color shirt. That was it, man. That was what exactly I wanted to do. And so we, of course, this is what I imagine college life to look like in the movies. A nice green field, everyone somehow in a circle like that enjoying. But obviously, that in KL, you don't really have that opportunity to sit on the grass. So things look a bit different now. So anyway, I continued doing graphic design. And there were like photography classes that we go in. This was like the most highly anticipated class for me because I get to do photography, which I love. So I love copying and mimicking all those college posters out there, taking pictures of my friends in the college. And when I did that, the college noticed that. And all of a sudden, they're like, hey, can we commission you to do some work for our advertisements out there? By the way, I'm from ICT College in KL. So I'm like, okay, can lah. It's like an opportunity. So I shot some college advertising material, and believe it, it's all over the internet back then. And believe it or not, they even printed maybe a 2-story high billboard during the highways when you're back from Malacca. Yeah, that was quite crazy for me lah. So thank you for them for giving me this opportunity, and I just play along lah, have fun. Meanwhile, outside of my studies, I was also doing part-time freelance jobs lah for videography and production lah. So this is my boss, one of my bosses, Lionel. So he does more corporate videos and ads, those kind of things. And this is my other boss, Jace. He's more on the wedding sides of video shooting lah. So from learning together and working together with these two bosses, got different styles and different ideologies when it comes to making videos, video content. Okay, again, how copying got me here. Okay, in general, when I look for inspiration or look for ideas for videos, I always come back to these two genres, which are Thai ads and travel films. Thai ads such as this. Okay. See, found a parking also so happy. Dramatization in a very short form. That was less than 20 seconds, I think. And the other genre I really love was travel films, fast-paced cinematic travel films. Okay, yeah. So that's that. Okay. So also during when I in college and also doing freelance, also is a time of discovering who you are as a person lah. So for me, I discovered I'm a very impatient person, which is when I watch videos, I'll skip to the main points. I don't like to drag a lot. Maybe talking, I like to drag, but in video, I don't like to drag. Then I love putting smiles on people's faces. I discovered this when I was young, in kindergarten. I would like to take a bottle and hit my head. I look stupid, but people laugh. I enjoy that lah. Maybe I'm just an attention seeker. Then I also love beauty. Things must be done and shot, composed properly. And I love technology. I love engineering, like trains and what I just discussed previously. So I'm very clear of these 4 points. And that ultimately also inspired me to do content such as this. So this is my mom and sister's car. And one bright day, I suddenly have the idea of shooting like an advertisement for the car, and this is what I did. Oh, hi, Jason. Yep. I like to mimic all those car ads last time, right? And then also I had a friend who did music. His name is Nicholas, and also another guy, names of Jaden. He passed away a few years ago, but rest in peace. But he was a very talented dancer and also a performer, also music, also very talented. So we did a mini music video like this. Oops, like this one. Yep. Okay, yeah. If you guys want to check out the video, I can send the link later on. Because of time constraint, I'll just show you small parts. Okay, so back then, in terms of equipment, we didn't really have much choice. One thing is because we were still studying, we haven't done any jobs, so we only can afford what we work for or what is available lah. So I got myself a 6D from freelance jobs there, and then at that time, you see, I'm not sure anybody of you knows what this is. This is not a gimbal. This is a fly cam. It's completely analog. So this was like the peak. If you had a fly cam, you were king now. But I didn't have I borrowed from my boss Jay's so we used whatever we had, and also a portable LED light So we were able to do something like you saw in the music video, where there's flashing lights and then the chasing camera movement. So we use whatever we could Okay, then it was time for intern. So I went to my intern. I also went in with a graphic design post. I was inside. I went in as a graphic designer also lah. And then there was one time whereby they had a video project. I'm not supposed to touch any video projects, but they had a video project, and then they were lacking of manpower lah. Then they noticed the previous 2 videos I show you. Then they say, hey, could you help with this project? Then I'm like, okay lah, can lah, I'm going to help lah. So that was, then we created something and then posted online, and then everyone was happy lah. So that was like the start of like really doing, really handling freelance jobs. Previously, I was just shooting. I don't handle the business side of things. So this is where it started, where I started to handle business side of things. I'm not a good businessman, so I make very, very poor choices every time, but we learn along the way. And this is where I started to incorporate my business called Arts in Motion. It was so that we can do business legally, I guess, so to speak. And from there, everything just that was history lah. So everything, all the jobs started to come in. The more we did, the more awesome the jobs became. And then I remember up here, the top left, you see this this Chinese lady over here. That's I think one of our first jobs we ever did for a pastry company. I still really like that video after it's like 7 years ago, I think so. Yeah. And then we did a lot, some for cars, some for travel, some for people like So I'm Jan. And then even there was like, I think 2 years ago, we did one for Sukan Malaysia, a bidding video. And also recently we did for Time Magazine and also Nespresso lah. Okay. So this is going to be the few things you'll see every time, especially if you are new to the industry, when clients or like approach you lah to do work, they'll ask you, can you do for free or not? It's okay lah, I give you exposure lah. We look for you because you are cheaper. Or, okay, you give us cheaper price because we want to work with you for a long-term relationship. This is actually everyone go through lah. I would say, although it is a truth saying it lah, although it's kind of irritating, but look at it at the brighter side of things. You are new. You do need to build your portfolio to show your skills. And also, if you're able to do that positively, make good things, probably you really will have a long-term working relationship with some of your clients. But again, you need to survive lah, right? You cannot be doing all this for free, not earning, and then you eat very minimally, right? You have to balance, all right? You have to balance taking these kind of requests. It's not wrong, but you have to balance. So for me, it is always the dilemma between making meaningful work or earning money, which is from your jobs. Again, this thing is about a balancing act. Making meaningful work means making portfolio lah, right? Something that of your style, something to showcase your skill. And earning money is earning money. So for me, you have to play this balancing game first because you need to earn money and also show your skills. But until a certain point, given that you have planned your finances well, you know what you should spend on, what you shouldn't spend on when you're a bit stable, on your feet already, that is where this is a great advice. One of my mentors, Kenji Chai, he's a very keng punya graffiti artist, very successful also. He told me this: do more meaningful work so that people know your style, they understand their vision, and they'll ultimately come and look for you for jobs, to give you jobs, and then from there, that's where the money comes in. So there's a lot of detail when it comes to this philosophy, but in easier words, it's like you enjoy doing work that you love doing, you love seeing, you enjoy the process, but at the same time, you're making money out of it. You're also bringing value to your clients and your customers. Yeah. So I explained that a little bit more later on. Also be reasonable to yourself, all right? Don't keep on, let's say a very bad example would be someone asks you to do it for free, then you're like, oh, okay, I need portfolio, so I want to do. Don't blindly just do that. You have to be reasonable to yourself and to your work. Always when you are working, all right, we are producing work, you're giving value to your customers. You are giving your time, your energy, your experience to create something good for your clients. So normally people will repay you that with money, or if you see like a nice long-term relationship, you and the person and the client has like very good chemistry, you like to continue that, then it's okay. Then that you can work with them. If you feel good, you work with them, no issue at all. Or maybe they compensate you in certain things, maybe really exposure or something. As long as it's good and beneficial and it works for you, like at that point of time, you can consider it's all right one, no worries. Because ultimately what we want to do is make more meaningful work so people know who you are, they come back, they give you jobs, and your life will be very happy most for the part of it lah. Okay, that was a lot of that thing. Now I'm just gonna continue with what I call the turning point of recent years lah. For me, this is where I started my collaboration with Kenji Chai, the street artist, and our work lah. So about 4 years ago, I was working full time in a co-working space. I was also doing graphic design for them, also a bit of video as well. So I worked there many years already. Then I felt that I wanted to expand more. I felt a bit burnt out because I realized that what I'm doing didn't really resonate with what I wanted to do lah. So me and a friend, we decided, okay, we do whatever we can. We finish whatever we can in terms of work for the company. We do our best, and then it's time to go ahead lah. I mean, pursue what we wanted to do lah. I think it's very understandable for a lot of people. So we left the company, and then we started our own stuff lah, related to video. For me, I'm still very happy that I joined this company, although it was very tiring and I was a bit burnt out, but I cured the curiosity. I knew that maybe what I was doing there wasn't what I wanted. So I'm clearer of what I want to do in the future. So that was, and also one more thing is working there, I got to know Kenji Chai, the street artist. He is a very powerful graffiti artist. Do you see this building? I think it's 25 or 30 stories high up. So he and maybe a few assistants painted this. He got the proportions like that and painted all that up, Yeah, I think in a month or 2 weeks, I'm not so sure, but he is very powerful. Anyway, this guy, Kenji, so his usual work are to do very nice murals in buildings around the world. Korea, United States, Kazakhstan, whatnot. He's all over the place. And if you've seen a green dog on the streets before, graffiti, that's by him. Okay, so right after I quit my company, then he was like, "Hey, I was commissioned to do. I was called to do this mural in Kazakhstan. Would you like to join?" I'm like, "Okay, I need a break. I need to go. I've never traveled for a long time already." I'm like, "Okay, let's go." Then he say, "No pay one, okay. But the flight ticket you have to pay yourself, okay." But he say, "Okay, but the staying and everything we pay lah, okay." For me, it's like, what other chance would you ever, go to a country like Kazakhstan and travel there? So for me, okay lah, I bite the bullet. The air ticket was expensive because it was last minute, but I went anyway with him and never regret a single day about going there, because look at how beautiful the place is. Like every kind of landscape is there. So if you regret going there, I don't know what's wrong with you, but I love it there. Okay, so the main point we went there was because he was doing an art mural, and since I'm doing video, I was like, hey, let's do a art and travel video where I take elements of his drawings. Let's say if there's a bird and there is a person, I make it into life and then turn that into the video lah. So while looking for ideas on how to do a nice travel film, I instantly remember this guy. His name is Vincent Urban. I think he is, for me, if I get to collab with him once in life, I'll be like, wow, one of my bucket lists already. But he is very when it comes to doing travel related content. Very, very, very good. This is just remember, guys, just search him up on Vimeo or YouTube. You'll definitely see all his work. And this is some of the things he's done recently that are very, very top notch. So I got some ideas from there also lah. And my films are very style-wise very, very inspired by him. But what I really noticed about his films were they had these two elements: humanity and celebration of life. Why does these two things pop into my mind, and why do I think it's very important? And because for me, these two things ultimately boils down to this: you're proud of your truth. Means like everyone is not perfect, all right? There are good sides and ugly sides, but we are proud of who we are as a person, as a nation. We are proud of who you are. And also, the second point is life is beautiful, all right? You just have to find it. It only happens once. You just have to find the beauty, be thankful and celebrate with it. Have a great lifetime because it only happens once. So these are the two things that I always see in his travel films. And I thought it always gives me very nice closure, very nice ending when I see his film. So I wanted to apply that into the films that I do also. So that has been the formula for many of our videos with Kenji. There were sometimes we're working even with Netflix. There are places like we went to Kazakhstan, sometimes China, close to Tibet, back to his hometown in Sabah, and also recently very close to your college, Penang last year. So that was also a very interesting time. We talked about food and everything. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so me and Kenji, we still continue to do a lot of work. But one of the work was us going to Sabah. And that was when we met Red Hong Yi, another contemporary artist. This is how it's linked to what I'm going to share to you now. How we did the Time magazine cover video with Red Hong Yi. So throw back to maybe 2 years ago in Sabah. By the way, it's been 10 years. This is the first time I've been to Sabah in 10 years. And it's so beautiful. You wake up, you see this beautiful mountain, Mount Kinabalu in front of you. People are very warm there. And then for less than 20 ringgit, you get very high quality shirts and stuff you can buy there at the Kundasan Pasar Malam. Obviously, they're secondhand, but they're very good quality. That's my girlfriend, by the way. And then, so this essentially is where the turning point happened again. Kenji, he invited me. He said, "Hey, Kenji." He said, "I got a collaboration with Red Hong Yi." Okay, that's very cool. Red Hong Yi is very talented and also very big. Also, and it's like, "Oh, we're gonna burn something down, art piece down." I say, "What? Okay, never mind. We're gonna go to Sabah." Wow, damn long never go already. So we went lah. And then that's where I got connected with Hong Yi and the team. We worked on an artwork. It's called Burn. All right. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this video before. I'll put a link later. So we went to this warehouse, and then Kenji was the one who did the painting in the middle, and then Hong Yi and her team did some of the matchsticks lah. Okay. So back then, Hong Yi was the statue of glue gun. She was using it a lot during the whole thing. And yeah, so this is how it looked like when they set the whole thing on fire. And so somehow there's a linkage with the project we did 2 years ago and the Time magazine project, because we are burning stuff again. Okay, so how it went by was Hong Yi one day, she messaged me, "Hey, we have a project going on." Okay, cool. We're gonna burn stuff again. We have done that before, so we know what to do and what not to do lah. And then she said, "It's for Time magazine." Say what? Time magazine? Okay, it's a must do. It's a must do. So I'm like instantly on. Let's go and do it. So while we were planning, the first things came to mind was what can we do better from our previous project in 2019 in Sabah. So here are the priorities that we had to take note 2 years ago when we did the first project. Was this burned piece is a one-time only. You can only burn it once. You cannot restart it. So you have to get as many angles as possible. But this time, we can move around to get as many angles as possible, because it's okay to do that lah, right? We're not shooting a cover. It doesn't have to be clean. The main angle doesn't make it clean. And then we had some assistants, Victor and Daniel, to help to shoot also lah. Now, the biggest difference here, although it's just 1 point, is that for Time Magazine, we are shooting a Time Magazine photo cover photo. The main purpose of this is the cover photo, which means that while the art piece is being burnt, we cannot suka walk into the frame and shoot close up and then jabut. It will screw up the cover photo. So we have to make sure, plan properly lah. And so this time, this is one of our initial sketches for the plan. We have some scaffolding, so the camera and our people can be like elevated and far away from the art piece while it's burning. And also, we also thought about like flying a drone to get like a top angle, but that didn't happen because drones produce a lot of wind turbulence, and then that would like blow off all the fire away lah. Ultimately, we ended up using this. A bit overwhelming, right? So many cameras. Okay. I tell you, okay lah, it's half of the cameras there are for video, and then like the rest are just for photography also lah. But it looks damn cool here, so I put it here. Okay, and then also this time we got we called in two very talented videographers as well. Aaron, he's helped so much during the shoot, since the start of the shoot, and also we also have Kit right here. It's also very nice shots that we got from him also. So we divided ourselves into teams, into tasks lah. So for me, this time I'm not shooting, because back then, 2019, I was shooting. I was also worrying. I was also directing. So that was very kelang kabut. So this time I decided, okay, I'm going to be on the scaffolding, looking at everything, and then direct the thing as Aaron and Kit did the shooting lah. So everything went well as planned. Yeah. So a bit of a comparison. 2 years ago, when we did the burn shoot, we had limited cameras, we had limited people to shoot. So the angles we got were somewhat limited lah. But this time, with the amount of cameras we had and the people shooting, we were able to get so much more dynamic footage. Close up, being wide angle, what else we got. So I'm also very, very happy that we went for this decision lah. Yeah, so planning is very important, and learning from experience is very, very important. Most importantly, you have to do it and learn from your mistakes. Okay, so let's go back in time a little bit while we were planning for the burn project. I mean, the Time Magazine project. This is us outside our meeting area. One thing I really like about this photo is like everyone is early on time. So early, in fact, that the door of our meeting area is still closed. We are still waiting. So we decided to have our meeting outside. And when I saw the finished piece for the first time, it was so beautiful. They mimic like the mountain range and stuff. It's like so sad to think that they're gonna burn this down. But nonetheless, it was very beautiful. So we were in this warehouse where it's brightly lit. Then I said, hey, let's try closing the doors. Let's turn the place dark. And for one moment, I think it was Hong Yi, if not mistaken, the artist behind the art piece. She took out her phone with the flashlight on. She placed it right at one of the continents. And then all of a sudden, you see this very, very beautiful light, shadow and sparkling show coming out of these continents because of the matchsticks. And then at the same time, I also noticed, hey, don't you look a bit like Indiana Jones, like some sort of explorer holding like a torch, discovering a hidden map in the cave? So that's exactly what we did later on. We took a candle, and then, hey, Hong Yi, you're wearing a bit like Indiana Jones explorer. Why not we shoot a little bit of that scene in there? And then the end result looked a bit like this. She was coming in like an explorer to discover places of the world where she, who's the human being, a representative of a human being, discover the world, the places, and want to develop or take the resources of the world, the land. So another thing that we discovered was, because we are putting the light source very close to the map, and it was a single light source, it kind of looked like this. This is a photo taken from the International Space Station. The sun is right above, shining to the Earth, and you see this very beautiful long shadow effect. So we tried to mimic that inside one of our shots, one of the beginning shots. And very, very happy that it turned out really nice. And also continuing from there, copying that idea of an aerial shot, we did something like this. So an aerial shot of the forest, and we did some light play. Yeah. And also, I'm not sure any one of you guys been to Broga Hill or climb a hike onto the top of a hill at around 4 a.m. in the morning, and then when it's 7, the light comes out, the sun comes out. You see these very beautiful, like long shadows casting after like a tree or something. So we used that idea, we copied that idea, and also put that into the film lah. So that's how we did the opening shot of the Time Magazine video. And thanks to innovation and technology, this is my friend Aaron. We were able to get ourselves hold of this. This is called a probe lens. It's really long. So what it does is you can get shots like this. You can go very close, and as if like you are like standing right close to the matchsticks, or you're flying a drone across the jungle. So we took advantage of technology and we are able to get a shot like that lah. So it looks like a rainforest with some rivers going by, and also we wanted to mimic forest next to a coast. That's what we got. Thanks to the probe lens as well. And after the video went up, the whole campaign was around the internet. It sparked a lot of interest and a lot of controversy, but it was really good response lah. So this is the first time we see. For me, it was a big deal. For me, it's like first time we see our work online. Everyone's watching. It was like really, really nice lah. Very thankful. So this is the team. Very happy to work with them. Hong Yi is here. Red Hong Yi is right here, and then the rest of the team, the photographers, Anis, and David, and the rest. Okay, and then we got Jessie. Jessie, I think she's somewhere here, and Aaron and Kitla, and also our firefighters here. Yeah, we did make sure that during this kind of art piece, everyone is safe lah. So we did have like briefings and fire safety, nonetheless. Okay, so I guess that is like we are towards the end already. So I'm also I want to conclude, which is I'm very glad that we have this opportunity to talk to you guys at the Equator College, and Chun Wai, thanks for inviting me. Yeah, I'm also very glad and feeling blessed every day that I'm able to work with very talented people, very cool, fun projects. Bringing value back to the I think the society lah, right? While enjoying what I'm doing, and also for me it is like this. Me myself, I really never have thought I wanted to be a filmmaker. I just followed the flow of life somehow. I wanted to be a pilot and a graphic designer, but that didn't happen because of my eyes. They're not of good condition. But I just wanted to say that sometimes it's okay to sometimes don't have a master plan, but you must have like what you an end goal of what you want to be happy. So just follow that, and then somehow be positive, and then like follow whatever opportunities life gives you like in a positive way. At the same time, I want to take a moment to mention a bit about my father, my dad. He actually passed away last year, in the middle of last year lah. But I want to mention that he played a big part in my self-discovery, because he took me to airports to look at planes. He took me to train rides to discover the sounds and the sensation. He supported a lot of things that I do also. And most importantly, he was the guy who bought that presentation DV camera that I used during high school lah. So just a little moment for him, and very thankful for what he's done. And so to conclude, discover who you are, what you love. This is very important, so you know what sort of jobs or what sort of style you want to inject into your craft, whether it's video, graphic design, or whatnot. This is very important because this is your identity. You have to know that. Sometimes it's slow to identify who you are, but always try everything that life gives you, then you know. Always try and fail, then you know. And also always open yourself to opportunities, all right? Don't right off the bat, if it's a bad thing, you think it's bad, then you say no. Try to look at what other opportunities or what other things it might bring to you. And then maybe you can even turn out the situation from bad to good. It varies, but always open yourself to opportunities. And then one more thing is to trust your instincts. This is a widely disregarded thing, but there's something in here in your heart that will tell you you should try this, or you should go to that path, or not do this or do that. There's always something like that. Always trust your instinct, because there's a lot of noise around, people saying you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you should do this, you should do that, but you trust yourself. That's somehow the way forward. And also, in general, enjoy life, because life is very beautiful. You just have to look for the beautiful sides of it. And it only happens once. So celebrate every moment of it, and you ultimately live a very happy life in short, and enjoy every single moment of it. So that's all for my sharing today. Hope you guys learned something. If you guys got any funny questions, feel free lah. Very casual. We have a little Q&A later on. Thank you.
Awesome. Very inspiring.
Thank you.
So everyone, to the audience, if you have questions, you can just type into the comment section, so we can have your question answered. All right. So I have been watching your story on Facebook sometimes. It's interesting. I know that you try very best to be positive. But we all know that we can't travel the past years and this year. So during this pandemic, what are the things that you think that as a video person or as a film person can do, to keep you going?
For me, not traveling is a limitation. Not able to travel is a limitation, but always limitation is what help people think out of the box. Yeah. What can I do with limited resources or boundaries? So maybe a very simple thing would be just take out your phone. Your phone has a very nice camera. Think of a story, go on Vimeo, YouTube, whatever, and just start shooting. Play the best, the music that always makes you got energy, and then don't care about royalty-free music. Just hunt that into your edit. Somehow there will be something magical, something nice that happens from your edit. So always just treat your tools as a toy. Go and play.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hope everyone else will start doing that with your phone. So people will start showing a lot of stories on Facebook. Yeah. Okay, working with people like Kenji and Hong Yi, do you find there are certain difficulties or challenges that you work with them? As an artist, you work with an artist. Sometimes at some point, artists will comes in to do a little bit of direction, or maybe a lot of direction, right? So do you find is there challenges?
I feel okay. For me, I'm very lucky that Kenji and Hong Yi, they give a lot of creative freedom, because they believe in what I do lah. Thankful. That's a very nice thing to be thankful and blissful about lah. But I think it is okay if someone comes in and give you directions, because there's sometimes things that they see that you can't see. You can take their words as consideration, but also, and you don't have to disregard it so quickly. You can see the good part of it, the use of what they suggested, and probably it will even make the video nicer. Also, I've been through countless times whereby even in work I sent a draft to my client. For me, it's it's nice enough already, but for them, it doesn't connect to our client, to our customers. Then I will ask what is it about? Then they explain. Oh, okay. Then we make the video even better. So it's good. It's okay.
Awesome. Okay, so from your video that you show from the show reel, there are certain elements like lights, editing, or even visual effects, right? So you would have certain visual effects in it. So do you think all these things really helps to enhance the outlook of your film, or the outcome of your film?
I think to start with is it gives it an identity, like certain effects For example, people who are familiar with Sam Calder, they look at the video, they know, oh, it's instantly a Sam Calder film, or it's a Vincent Urban film. So these things are very important to give your film an identity. Whether or not it makes the film nice, it depends on how you control it. If you go too overboard, keep on having cool transition and stuff, it's gonna spoil the film. Yeah. So but again, I don't mean by you shouldn't put any effects. You should definitely try to go overboard. And when you go overboard, you tune it down to that nice ratio, that nice level. That's where you find your sweet spot and your identity, and that's where the effects come in and work.
Okay, so we have first question, Lenny. Do you encounter writer's block, or how often do you burn out, and how do you get over it?
I think quite often. Okay, actually, for me, I'm not sure about other people, but for me, I do get that quite often because I always want to look for something new. I wish not to produce something that is very similar to what I produced previously. So I'm always out there thinking about how can we push boundaries, or how we can make this better. So in terms of writer's block, yes. And then in terms of burnout, for me, maybe I go a bit further. Like, how do I cure that? Usually when you have burnout, you'll feel so out of energy, no more inspiration. Just do one thing. Stop doing what you're doing. Go outside. Maybe go have a walk. Get a cup of coffee. Go to your favorite cafe. Listen to that song you want. Just chill. Then your mind, once it's like clear again, somehow the idea just pops back in one, because you're too occupied previously. Then now you have room. It comes back in one. So yes, I do happen to have that a lot.
Okay, next one we have Edward Lau.
Okay.
So have you ever think of making movies or documentaries?
Documentary. Okay, for me, I'm not really a movie person. I'm, like I mentioned previously, I'm very impatient. I can't really spend 2 hours in the cinema. But if you talk about want to make movies and documentaries, I don't know, follow the flow. Maybe one day I will. But documentaries, definitely, I want to try that as a stepping stone first. Probably I'll talk about something travel related or engineering, technology related kind of things. Then maybe slowly move to movies and that kind of thing. Because I also like to recreate moods, communicate with people and that kind of stuff. So yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think why Edward asked you this. Edward is also a co-founder of My Toy Hot. It's an art toy platform over here in Malaysia, but also in Singapore and everywhere else. So I think Edward is thinking of doing a documentary about toy artists over here in Malaysia.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
So Edward, you know who to contact. Right. So, another thing is that maybe you can share your video link on the comment over here. So, because I think I love the style that you are doing, because when Kenji first showed me the video that you did in Penang, the Char Kway Teow video, so I feel it's quite interesting. It's really interesting in a way that you edit and the style that you actually use.
Thank you.
So what actually inspired you in that video?
In that video, okay. So for me, it was sort of an experiment back then, because we've done a lot of like travel video cinematic already. So a bit scenery lah. So we wanted to try something different. So I was looking on Vimeo and I saw, and somehow I came across a lot of those very abstract, very weird videos lah. And then it had a sense of those videos told me, sometimes when you create videos, it doesn't have to be proper all the time. It can be a bit fun, it can be weird a bit. So that's why we had the weird voiceover, we had the cards flying out, it was very funny, very weird kind of thing. And then I think that's how it came across. But ultimately is, when I was discussing about how to do the video with Kenji, we struggled to have a storyboard. Again, writer's block. So, okay, follow the flow. Let's see what we're gonna have. And then through the library of things we've seen previously, we take inspiration and shoot, and then we also, most importantly, doing the edit, find the right song, and then it'll bring everything together.
All right, awesome. So any other questions from the audience?
Yeah, you can also ask what's my favorite color. My favorite color is blue. Okay,
so you can also check out Kern Wei's link. It's www.theartsinmotion.com.
And also, if you like noisy Insta stories, you can also follow me on Instagram. Is at Kern Wei. Oh, I think we have Sabrina Tan. She got a question here. What's your advice on making the most out of MCO as a videographer? I think this question's answer is very similar to the our first question, which is try to find something to do. I mean, don't stop creating. Just pick up the camera, record or make a film or video that you wanted to do last time, which you don't have time to do when you were busy during a non-MCO time. Whereby, for example, maybe in your case, I know that you cook a lot, Sabrina. So maybe you can do that. You can film yourself cooking, edit it, and just post online. Okay, don't be paiseh. Don't be like scared. People will comment. Don't care about that. Just post online. You will slowly know how to up your quality. You'll slowly get used to the feeling, and also people who follow you, they see you. They would also, there's a niche, audience who like the stuff you do, then they'll follow you, they'll support you, and ultimately there is like a yin yang of value creation. So yeah, that's my answer for that. How do Jen find you? Who is Rachel? Jen. Okay. We were online friends in Instagram. I see her picture very nice, then I go and talk to her, then we wearing amki, then we together. Yeah. Okay. I like those kind of questions. Anyone else?
Okay, maybe one last questions. Anyone?
Okay.
One last questions.
Parking ticket Oh, okay. So I think Lenny has a very fun. Okay, Lenny, he mentioned one thing. So okay, during MCO last year, because of the limitations, I discovered I like to do voiceover as well. So I went on Fiverr and I did voiceover as well, and then I acted like the parking ticket machine you see in shopping malls. I was like, please insert your parking ticket. Fee is 12 ringgits. Just for fun. And then somehow there's like, the people do pay for that kind of shit. So, for that kind of thing. And then, yeah, became like another talent that I discovered. So MCO is just had a look at the brighter side of things. Okay, CN Lily. Okay, have you ever encountered something or someone that never credited on your work? How you handle this sort of situation? A lot of times. It's very common, this issue. Because sometimes people are just too excited. They post without thinking about the creator. So we have to think about that. All right. But for me, it is like this. As long as it doesn't cause any harm to the parties, in whoever is in the video, or to myself or the creator, I would just let it be, because internet is big. All right. And search engine is so powerful. If someone wants to find out who this video is created, who created this video, they can find out one. So it's okay one, all right? It's okay. But what we should do as the video creator, probably a watermark at the top corner of the video or at the end of the video, something that is very hard for people to blanco it or superimpose it away. Then you can save yourself some trouble also. But always remember that the problem of people taking your content and putting it out there without your permission, that's going to happen. There's no way to stop that.
All right. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you everyone who are watching this. So if you haven't liked Equator College Facebook yet, please do so. So, thank you, Kern Wei. Thank you for agreeing to do this.
No worries. Thank you, Chin Wai. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for your time to prepare those slides. It's really inspiring. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
I'll see you again when you are here in Penang, or when I'm in KL again.
Yes, please. Love to.
Okay, so see
Alright.
you. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching. See you. Bye bye.